Do you see me looking for the peeps?
Where are they?
Looking for the peeps? Because I found them. I found Christian Cage, your brand new Impact World Heavyweight Championship.
This is a slow fall of Kenny Omega as a title collector.
I think it's time to get a faction going in AEW for the women's division. I wouldn't mind if they just call themselves the Dentist or the Dentistry Makers.
The Tooth Fairies, baby, let's go.
What we got was a revision back of the Shield Roman Reigns.
Oh my God.
Watch the playback of 2016 and then watch the 2021. It's the exact same thing. Roman Reigns is there with his mic. John Cena is verbally lashing him, and all you see is him smiling, looking at the crowd. That's exactly what we got.
The tribal chief does not prove himself with words, and that's what he told John Cena. He has made Edge acknowledge. He has made Cesaro acknowledge. He has made Daniel Bryan acknowledge. Roman Reigns is not here to diss you. He is here to humble you. What is up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Weekly Finish Up. My name is Beefy Supreme.
Beefy Supreme!
And to my left is the dashing debonair of D-Town Love, Ace Styles.
What's good? It's your boy Ace Styles.
What is up, Ace? I try to help you with the Beast Supremo because I get jealous every week. You do a great job every week. This week, we're not only talking AEW Dynamite, but Rampage is the newest show on board, and Christian Cage has won the Impact Championship in front of a humongous crowd. Ace, Christian did it. He did it amongst all odds, against all odds. Christian Cage defeated Kenny Omega. He defeated Don Callis. He defeated the Young Bucks. Captain Charisma himself, Christian Cage, is on top of the food chain. Ace, how happy are you?
Do you see me looking for the peeps?
Where are they?
Looking for the peeps? Because I found them. I found Christian Cage, your brand new Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, that man, and this is what first of all, before anybody say something and they say, oh, how come you guys are happy for Christian Cage winning the championship when you guys were complaining about Brock Lesnar and Goldberg? Let me tell you something. That man came in and he said, I'm going to come in and I'm going to earn a championship match. That man said, I'm going to go in and I'm going to clang and bang and I'm going to earn a championship.
Yeah.
And he earned it. He beat the likes of Jungle Boy. He beat the likes of everybody else in that roster to become number one contender, and he did it. And on the biggest stage of them all, Rampage, he did it. He won.
What a way to open up the show. We got a main event caliber match in front of a big crowd in Pittsburgh. And let me just say, I think it's really cool. Christian did earn his way up, and Christian won a title that's near and dear to his heart. Christian left WWE right off the bat when he felt like he wasn't being used a long time ago, and he became the NWA champion in Impact Wrestling in TNA. I didn't even remember it was the NWA title. So it's kind of cool that he comes back home to the place that let him grow and shine and show everyone how great he is. And he gets to hold their belts. He gets to hold the TNA championship and the Impact championship, and they look good on him. Mark Henry looked happy for him.
Yeah, and I have to say that, right? I like just the accolades that Christian Cage won, man.
Yeah.
Christian Cage has bet on himself, and he got over it. He did his own thing. He's doing his thing in AEW. I'm so proud of Christian's legacy is continue. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, come on, man. Like it's so great seeing the strive that he's made, seeing the everything that's going for. The crowd was so electric in Pittsburgh. They were so happy that he's won, which is crazy because if we look back, we did not want to see Christian Cage be champion. But, man, when he won, all doubts went away, and we were so excited to see him.
I will say, the match itself wasn't like a 5-star epic match.
No,
and the crowd made it happen. If anything, it shows you how it works whenever you do get a crowd behind you. Because that crowd, as soon as he flipped them off, when the match started, they grappled, he threw him against the corner, and Christian Cage flipped them off. And that became the epitome of us. That's us telling WWE and telling the people that held back Christian, holy crap, this guy might win it all. Don't you dare question us. That's cool, man. I'm gonna say I was surprised he beat Kenny.
Well, I mean, and you said it right. It wasn't a 5-star match. It wasn't like a barn burner, but it is what it is, right? It was a great match, and I feel like we got to talk about the ending. And the ending of, you know, Kenny Omega was going back to his dastardly deeds, was trying to go put one over him and use a steel chair, but somehow, some way, Christian Cage reversed it. And Kenny sold a beautiful selling on that chair. That man looked like he died for a second. And he got the win.
That took a hit. Yeah, that was a great ending. I love that ending. And I think, again, it adds more questions to this overall dynamic of whether we want to keep this friendship, whether it truly benefits everyone. And more importantly, heading back to Christian, I want to know, does Impact benefit from this? Like, does Impact benefit from having a champion of this caliber? But he hasn't even done an episode of Impact yet. Do you feel like this is worth it?
This is huge. Impact, everybody was talking about how AEW is winning the most in the Forbidden Door. Everybody was talking about how AEW is the first company that's getting more contributions between these crossover Forbidden Door situations.
They're opening it all, baby.
But legitimately, this is really good for Impact. This is it. We have not been talking about Impact since the Forbidden Door has been open, and now we have Christian Cage, who is your champion. Yeah, I mean, come on, you go from Kenny Omega to Christian Cage. That's huge.
You're right. This is the slow fall of Kenny Omega as a title collector. One of the most beautiful belts that is around is no longer around his waist. As of now, they're still slated to wrestle at All Out. Yeah. Is that still going to happen?
I don't think so. And here's why.
And I say we're done with Christian.
We're done. And this is just me. I don't think TK has said it on record. He does not like rematches. He hates doing rematches. TK saw this as an opportunity. TK looked at this and said, hey, you know what? There's certain things happening. Things can change. I don't see Christian being the champion right now. I could even see Christian even not going against him, maybe even a triple threat match or something else happening in the weights. I have no idea.
Interesting. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, like you said, some people might be questioning why we're excited for Christian. At the end of the day, Christian is a Hall of Famer. He deserves this. But you're right. A lot of people questioned it. I questioned it myself. But you know what? Hearing that pop, that was amazing. And hopefully Christian can take it from here. And we know he's going to make Impact shine. And I'm sure he's going to keep AEW shining as well. So I'm excited.
Big fact. And speaking about pops, speaking about big pops, we got the hometown hero. Brittsburgh delivers as Dr. DMD successfully retained her women's championship on the biggest stage of AEW's Rampage, the main event, the women headline, and my God almighty, what a main event. That's right, Brittsburgh. So I'm throwing it back to my co-host. What do you think? What did you think about the main event? What did you think of it?
Brittsburgh delivered, baby. Like, we saw how excited this crowd was for her starting on Wednesday. They had the Steelers towels going. Always a great look. I like whenever like a sports team has a certain look. The Miami Heat have the white towels. Like certain sports have that. And I love it. They showed a lot of support. Britt Baker threw out the first pitch for the Pirates game in Pittsburgh this week. Yeah. She wanted to represent Pittsburgh. Yeah. And it worked. It worked. It was a great ending to the debut episode. It was a great way to like introduce everyone to our elite women's wrestler here. And overall, like you said, Red Velvet wanted to stir it up. Everyone was happy with the result. I'm okay with all this.
I agree too. But here's the situation though. Now everybody said, even the announcer said this, right? Red Velvet was in enemy territory. But after these past 2 nights, right, even though she was the hometown hero, and of course they were all rooting for her, should we turn Britt Baker a baby face, or should we leave her in the heel phase? Because here's the thing.
We got Chris Statlander. Very valid question, Ace. Yeah.
And here's the situation. Chris Statlander is the #1 contender for Britt Baker's championship match. So here's the thing. When we saw that at the end of the match, Chris Statlander was getting booed.
Hey, man, towards the end of the match, I wasn't even paying attention to that. I thought Becky Lynch appeared for a minute there.
Oh, Jesus.
I just want to say, you should have seen me at home. I was like, oh, my God. Like, I almost pooped myself, sir. Like, that was ridiculous. But Britt Baker has a very valid point in turning face here. I legitimately think there's no one more over than her right now in this roster. Everybody wants to like her, and you slowly have her not being as mean. You know, Tony's her friend. Tony was there throwing out the first pitch with her at the Pirates game. Like, slowly you're taking away some of the meanness from her and keeping the coolness, which is kind of like what you do with characters like The Rock. I think this is very valid. I actually think you should turn her face. And we mentioned this before. She doesn't have a face to go after her, not even like a good baby face. Chris Statlander came in, and you're right. Like, she attacked her, probably a good match going forward. But I don't know if I want to root for Chris Statlander, which goes back to the question. Maybe we have our face already. Britt Baker is our face.
Yeah, and that's the situation, though, right? That's the situation where I don't see her being a heel, even though she's great. She got over as a heel, and she got over by going after the crowd. We somehow slowly started to love her, and now we just can't get enough of her. And by the way, there was not Becky Lynch who debuted last night. She was actually a former Stardom SWA Championship, Jamie Hayter. She was actually on AEW prior to that. The reason why it's so spectacular is because Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter actually had a match in Pittsburgh before the whole pandemic started. So then again, that's why it was a huge. It's a good callback to her being debuting.
You smart, sir. You smart. Right. This is why we have Ace on this panel, because he keeps up with his AEW facts.
Big facts. So this is what I'm saying when it comes to Britt Baker. She is a megastar, and we need that yin to the yang. And don't get me wrong, I love Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander is a fan favorite, but the problem is I don't know if she's as big as Britt Baker, and I don't want to use this comparison, but I'm going to have to. Britt Baker is on the star level of Stone Cold Steve Austin. We need a Dwayne Johnson. We need a Chris Jericho or a Kurt Angle to go against a Britt Baker, and that is what we need.
No, we definitely need her. Like I said, she kind of sold this event, man. Like, Brittsburgh was the topic this week, and the crowd reacted to her. The fans reacted to her. I was happy with it. I want to know real quick, everyone, we talk about her getting her props in AEW. She has yet to get a faction. I still don't see a women's faction in AEW. Does she need more than Rebel, not Reba?
I think we do. I think it's time to get a faction going in AEW for the women's division. I wouldn't mind if they just call themselves the Dentist or something like that, or the Dentistry Makers or something cool as that. I mean, not as cool, but something along those lines, because I do agree we should have a faction in the women's division.
The Tooth Fairies, baby. Let's go. Let's do this.
I like it.
I like it. Well, it was obviously Brittsburgh all this week, baby. That's what the topic was about. But what we ended up talking about by the end of the night was that our boy Fuego Del Sol is now all elite. Fuego Del Sol went one-on-one against Miro. And this was for a shot for a contract. He did not win. He did not win this match. He got destroyed. The boy is like 1-36, 37. But you know what? That didn't matter, because in AEW, we reward people that get over. So TK came out with Fuego's friend Sammy. He sent Sammy to the ring and said, you know what? You're one of us now. You're all elite. The crowd went wild. Ace, how great is this?
What a strange concept, right? If you get over, you automatically get rewarded. It's such a strange concept. But yet in AEW, it makes sense. Fuego Del Sol has been clamoring. Everybody, even when I went live on AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday when they were in Dallas, the whole crowd is behind Fuego.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. And Fuego has always been a fan favorite. And I say this because Sammy Guevara has a vlog called The Sammy's Vlog. And Fuego has been consistently on that channel. And in doing so, the fans of AEW have been watching Sammy's vlog. And in doing so, they have been clamoring for Fuego del Sol. And so it's such a great, such a great moment that he finally got to earn a spot in AEW.
He was crying. The crowd was cheering. The luchador from Alabama got a contract.
Yeah. It's so great. Like it's like, again, such a crazy concept. But if you get over,
I know,
you get rewarded. So it's such great.
Going back to that crazy concept, you know, if we're gonna compare, we like to compare things because, again, this is a rival promotion. When Zack Ryder got over, remember, he used the internet to get over. And what did the WWE do? They punished us. And they didn't give it to us. Here, you're right. I think Fuego Del Sol's following came from his appearances on the vlog, from being online, and they decided, you know what? The fans want more Fuego. Let's give them more Fuego.
Yeah, and again, it's a great story. It's just a wholesome story that shows that AEW not only cares about its fans, but it listens to the fans.
That's right.
In doing so, it shows us that the fans really have a power over AEW. And I said this before.
You're right, but
AEW.
I want to know. He did lose the matches. Like, yes, should he have gotten the contract?
If you're being fair, no. But here's the thing: it's a storyhood dream come true. The boyhood dream has come true for Fuego Del Sol. What more could you ask for?
What more could you ask for? Honestly, I don't even care if he ever wins. If he is like the new jobber in town, if he's like underdog loving wrestler that everyone loves, who cares if he ever wins again? But real quick, before we move on, is Miro, where did, like, you know, he gave the beating of his life to Fuego, and it still wasn't about Miro. Does Miro need to switch it up?
No, I don't think so. Miro looked like a beast last night, and he
okay. You're happy with Miro? Okay.
I'm sorry. I am happy with Miro. Miro is throwing incredible promos week after week. The man just looks like a total beast. My question is, who goes against Miro at All Out?
I know, that's what I'm saying. What do you do?
Honestly, well, obviously, it has to be Jungle Boy.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it has to be someone better than Fuego, because you know what? Fuego gave it a saw. He gave those spinning DDTs. The crowd loved it, but not enough, man.
It is true. Not enough. But we'll see what happens with Miro. And shout out to Fuego, friend of the pod. Thank you. You got the contract, man. You got a contract. But moving on from Fuego and now going into chaos, Sasha Banks, the boss, and Bianca Belair ensue contract chaos as they sign away and 1 week away for this year's biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. Beef Supreme. What do you think?
I think these are two top characters, man. You know, you were talking about Britt Baker being as over. You mentioned Sasha Banks being as over as some of these like big wrestlers that we've grown up with. Yeah, the crowd was into this contract signing. I feel like these are very two well-loved characters. They put it all out there. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I care to have Selena or Carmella involved, but you know what? As Sasha's lackeys, it always adds a little bit of flavor to like a heel. But you know, we talked about pushing people and like WWE being a brand. I think Sasha, you know, you mentioned before that she was on The Mandalorian. I don't know if they want to invest in much as her, because I don't know if she wants to be as involved. I feel like someone like Bianca is in her prime. She wants to headline all these pay-per-views. I think Bianca has to take this victory, man. And, you know, she handles these storylines great. She got a beating on SmackDown, but this has to be her time.
And I agree with everything that you're saying, except for the fact that Sasha Banks right now is everywhere, from The Mandalorian to BET to everything else. She is on almost everything that there is out there, right? Why not capitalize and put her as the face of SmackDown? That's just the way I see it. But before that, we had Becky Lynch, and this is how Becky Lynch became an uber megastar. I feel like Sasha Banks is a megastar, but if you tell a lot of people, it's still Becky Lynch over Sasha Banks. And
I think that's true.
and that's why I feel like this is Sasha Banks' moment where she legitimately says, "It's my time now. I got to do it." Because we've never seen a full-blown reign for Sasha Banks. We've never seen her actually hold a title and do title defense. And if we have, it's only been like a day or a week, and then she loses it.
No, you're right. When she came back, we were excited, and then she got paired up with Bayley. So you've never really seen her have a full reign the way that Charlotte did have a reign. Yeah, you're right. But my thing is, this is already like a rematch from WrestleMania. Are we seeing an epic rivalry unfold before our eyes? Because from what I've seen, this is pretty epic already, man.
Well, it's funny you said that, because technically today on Talking Smack, Bianca Belair actually said she wants to retire Sasha Banks.
I like these stakes. Let's keep raising the stakes, baby.
It's sounding like maybe it is over with the boss. Maybe the boss is my head on that. I have no idea.
See, I like this. I like this. They make you question.
They do make you question. I don't know what's left. If this is Sasha Banks' swan song, It sucks, but as I said before, Sasha Banks is bigger than the WWE, and I'm all happy for what she.
Can I just say, we try to retire everyone. I've been trying to retire Jericho for weeks now. Now you're trying to retire Sasha. What are we doing?
It's retirement city, baby.
Retirement City, baby. But Retirement City was not the only city mentioned. Suplex City was also mentioned this week, Ace. A war of words between Roman Reigns and John Cena unfolded before us on SmackDown this week. And can I say, things got spicy. Things got spicy. John Cena said, sir, you have been protected this whole time. We've been protecting that pretty face. You ruined Seth Rollins. You ran Dean Ambrose out of here. You are nothing without these fans. Roman came back with a high school sexist thread saying, hey, no one likes missionary, including your ex. The hell? Ace, what happened?
First of all, I want to give props, okay? Before we even go in on the segment, I want to give props because this segment was it was an hour-long segment.
It wasn't an hour-long segment.
It was a full for 30, 34, 30. It was a whole first hour of
okay, let's not deceive. They didn't go in the ring for an hour, but okay.
It took 2 commercial breaks. I'm just saying. So to me, I do want to give it praise because it was what we always wanted. We wanted to see this for a long time. We wanted to see a face-to-face between John Cena and Roman Reigns. But here's the problem. We're 1 week away from SummerSlam.
We are 1 week away.
This should have happened 2-3 weeks ago. We should not have brought back Finn Balor. This should have been the buildup. Now, we
have this now. We have this now.
So we look at this, and I was excited. Me being a Roman Reigns fan, right? I was excited. I was like, okay, here we go. Here's a different Roman Reigns. Let's see what he got. And what we got was a revision back of the Shield Roman Reigns.
Oh my God. Why, Ace? Why do you say that?
And I'll tell you why. If you legitimately go on YouTube and watch the playback of 2016 and then watch the 2021, it's the exact same thing. Roman Reigns is there with his mic. John Cena is verbally lashing him. And all you see is him smiling, looking at the crowd, and just smiling. That's exactly what we got.
Well, question. What would you have Roman do?
Roman Reigns is a heel, correct?
Yes, that is correct. He's the tribal
why
chief.
Isn't he not belittling John Cena? Right? If I had the pen, right? If I had the pen, why wouldn't I have Roman Reigns come out first and say, look, John, I don't need to face you. I don't need to have you. Why? Because I'm everything you wish you could be. You're getting old. You used to call me a fake John Cena. Guess what? I'm not a fake John Cena because unlike you, I turned heel. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? There was so many angles to attack this, and instead he says, "Oh, you're just boring. You're great." But that's John Cena. You do what you do. But hey, you know what, Nikki Bella? What?
Okay,
that was the big ooh.
Okay, I will say
a Nikki Bella diss that was somewhat sexist.
No, you had a point. We spoke about this outside of the show, and you know what? I was like, oh man, that hurts. But you know what? It felt a little dated. It felt a little sexist as well. It's like, hey man, what are we doing? But I will say, I actually love your idea. I actually like the promo you just gave. Should have been Roman's promo. So Ace, that was beautiful, amazing. But Roman Reigns specifically told John Cena, we do things differently now. And I think that's something you should learn as well, Ace. The heels of the past are no longer relevant when the tribal chief is in town. The tribal chief does not prove himself with words, and that's what he told John Cena. He proves himself in the ring. This man has bullied and has shamed his family to believing that he owns this table. And he has made others notice that as well. He has made Edge acknowledge. He has made Cesaro acknowledge. He has made Daniel Bryan acknowledge. All of them without a word. Roman Reigns is not here to diss you. He is here to humble you.
And I get what you're saying, right? And I understand that aspect of Roman Reigns' character, right? But he's done that before with Edge, right? Him and Edge had a great build-up when they went into WrestleMania, right? They had a great build-up, and he even said, I don't need you, you're a hat. He did all that, the same thing I want to do with Edge. My issue is this looked like John. I did not like the way Roman Reigns came out, and I did not like the way Roman Reigns looked in this position.
Interesting. So do you think, well, to be honest then, you think he was intimidated?
I think from what I saw, it legitimately looked like he was scared because the body language, everything that was showing, it looked like the old Roman Reigns, right?
You know, if we're honest here, it kind of reminded me of how John Cena's body language was when The Rock came back. I think there's a little intimidation here with Roman, with John Cena coming back.
And you felt that, right? You felt when John Cena came back, and he doesn't seem, and I'll tell you what. Cena does not feel comfortable anymore in that ring.
He doesn't, but you know what? The crowd does not care. The crowd literally does not care how bad his promos are. They are rooting for this man.
Yeah, and that's saying something. But when I was looking at John Cena and seeing him come back, I've noticed that Cena isn't the same. And I actually went back and watched The Rock's promos against Cena, and it's the same thing too.
How much wrestling have you been watching, sir?
I have. I watched back and relived the tapes. The Rock also looked uncomfortable, and even Cena looks uncomfortable. So to me, it's one of those things where I felt like if I had the pin, I would have done this so differently because again, that one line of Nikki Bella, it almost felt like, what are you doing?
It felt kind of like when you're getting bullied and you resort to like the first instinct that you have, and that's kind of what it was.
It is, and it almost felt like you were going after an ex, like if me and you were having a problem, right? And I go after your ex because I can't go after you. Like that's a low blow. It's lowballing.
It is lowballing. You're right. You're completely right. Your analysis, your pen. We always tell TK about my pen, but Vince McMahon needs to listen to this pen because
I don't want to talk to that man.
I'm signing you up. I
don't want to talk to the man, but I will say we're 1 week away. We are 1 week away from SummerSlam, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they have built up for next week. We'll see. But again, I still see Roman Reigns winning.
It's been 1 week, 2 weeks. I tried to do the joke with John Cena and the 3 numbers. Whatever. Ace, we got this, man.
It is what it is. All right. Last thing before we get to our reoccurring segment of the week.
It's a question of the week, Ace.
That's what I'm talking about. It's the question of the week. And that is who is the greatest trash talker of all time?
Oh, man, we've had so many. In fact, MJF is the current king of that, I would dare say. And I would say there's a few that I kind of tried, but now they're suspended. So you got to be careful with your trash talk. We've had Stone Cold. We've had Roddy Piper. We've had all sorts of people. I think you still stick with the king of trash talk all time. The Rock will always be the greatest trash talker, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't beat that one. I have to go against.
We're both going to pick The Rock.
We're both picking The Rock. I can't say it. But if we want to switch it, I think for me, MJF is the greatest of the modern era. I think MJF, we talked about it here on the show before. MJF is a different type of heel, and I think he's a great trash talker.
Ew, MJF, Jericho. Hello.
So obviously we have some Jericho fans in town. I want to say CM Punk got a great reputation as a trash talker. And Cena actually made a reference to CM Punk saying, I'm going to carry that title, blow you a kiss, and make my way out of here. Does CM Punk not rank on your list, Ace?
We don't talk about CM Punk.
Until next week?
Until next week.
All right, we'll stick with The Rock. I'm happy with The Rock.
Tune in next week. That's all I got to say.
Ace, get us out of here, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the show where I tell you, that's right, you, the people watching and listening, where you can find this. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that bell below. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to Roger Talks Wrestling so you can listen and make sure that you're the first one to know when a new episode is updated. And not only that, that's right, you can listen to this podcast, this show, anywhere you go, whether you're taking the vaccine, whether you're at your mama's house, your daddy's house, your bald-headed granny's house, wherever you at, you can follow us on all of anywhere you get your podcast. That's Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to check us out.
Make sure to always leave us comments as well. Let us know what you think, who you think is the greatest trash talker of all time. We always love your responses. We love your views. And let's keep this going, Ace. Next week, we got a big week. I don't even know if our hearts can take it, but next week, we got this.
Next week, guys. See you here live on the Weekly Finisher.
Let's go. Bye.